Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the North American Association of Cerebral Palsy Advocates Chatline. However you're joining us, wherever you're joining us, thank you for making us part of your week. My name is Caleb Wells. I am joined by my partner in crime, Tanner Lynn. How are you today, Tanner?
I'm great.
Welcome back to our wacky little world of podcasting. We took a week off and got to record with Tylea, and that was fun. So if you haven't watch that episode, go back and watch that. Tylea was a great guest. And we hope that you enjoy what you've been hearing. This is episode, what is this, 11? This is the 11th time we've done this? 12th time?
11, 12, somewhere in there.
And when we started this, we didn't even think we were going to get out of the month of March. So the fact that we're sitting here in May is crazy. And with May comes a change of season as summer is approaching. So I think that's what we're going to start talking about today is summer memories and things that we could do for the summer, making an accessible, fun summer memory. So I'm going to go ahead and start with you, Tanner, and then we'll kind of lead into this group and this conversation.
Yes. So, I have several memories as a kid, growing up, from vacations, to one in particular when I was 9 or 10 years old. We went on a vacation to North Carolina, and if you know anything about North Carolina, it's kind of warm there, and there's beaches and sand and everything there. And one time we were with some family friends, and we rented this house. And my mom, who doesn't listen to this podcast, but she should.
We're already taking shots at our family this week. Last
Fine.
week was such a love fest, and now we're taking shots at our family who don't listen to the show. But go ahead, continue.
But my mom, there was this answering machine in this house, and we walked in one day and it said, "You have no messages," out of nowhere. Nobody even pressed it, and she thought it said, "You're so Mexican." So that was it. It's kind of a funny running joke around my house still to this day.
That's great. So are you done, or do you have more? Because I don't want to step on you.
I'm done for right.
All right. So a lot of our family memories have been built around water. My mom liked going to the beach, like going to the lake, doing all that kind of stuff. She just liked being out in the sun and enjoying the sand and water and all that. I'm not against water. I just don't like to swim. I'll get out on a boat, but I'm not necessarily a swimming kind of person. But my brothers were in high school. My older brothers were in high school. They were probably 17, so we were 8 years old at the time. And we all went to the mall like 2 or 3 weeks before vacation. We went to the mall, and my older brothers went down to the arcade. They always did that. Nothing weird there. But they always played Dance Dance Revolution. And if you've never seen one of these machines, it's basically a big mat that they put on the floor, and you follow the steps on the screen, whatever. And so my twin and I were with my mom, and all of a sudden we get a call from the mall security and from one of my brothers saying that he pushed his twin off of the said Dance Dance Revolution machine and broke his foot. You would say, well, that's an awful story. Why are you bringing this up in our Summer Memories episode? Well, turns out because Jake couldn't get his foot wet, we had to take a different trip and something that we would have never done ever before in terms of traveling and moving and all that. And so we decided to go out to Yellowstone and drive across the country and do that instead. It was probably the best family vacation that we had. It was something different, and it was all because my brother broke his foot. So it was one of those things where it was a happy accident in the end. My mom was not very happy
I bet not.
about, my brother breaking his foot, but at the end of the day, it all worked out. And that really stands out to me. We got to go to Yellowstone and the Badlands, which nobody ever should go to South Dakota unless you're going to the Badlands, because there's nothing else there. Let's be real. But the Badlands are beautiful.
Yes.
Mount Rushmore is pretty nice. But it's a trip that I've wanted to make again, and we haven't had the opportunity to. So it was just one of those memories and happy accidents that happened here. But what else? Have you been like excluded from any activities or anything on a vacation that you can remember?
Well, on that same vacation to North Carolina when I was a kid, and that was a long time ago, so my memory's a little faded on this incident. But my mom and dad wanted to go into this antique shop, and the owner of the shop
Keep going. I muted myself.
the owner of this shop said that my wheelchair was not allowed in this store because it was a stroller. No, it wasn't a stroller. It's a wheelchair. And my mom and dad both explained to her that it was a wheelchair, and she said, "No, I don't care. You're not allowed to go in here." So we just ended up leaving the store. But
We need an ADA violation sounder, like violation or something. We got to find some kind of sounder there, because that is clearly Section 3 of the Americans with Disabilities Act allows us rights to goods and services. Clearly a violation of rights and goods and services.
And I would hope that the rules in that store, wherever it was, have changed, because no, that is a clear violation.
It was also probably 20 years ago, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Even from 20 years ago, there's more understanding across that kind of stuff.
So, yeah, I highly doubt the store owner is listening, but if you're listening to this episode, I was at your store probably 25 years ago, and you should feel ashamed of yourself for doing that to a little boy in a red wheelchair. I don't have it.
All I wanted to see was some antiques, god damn it.
Right. But yeah, that was just a funny accessibility uh uh accessibility issue that I had when I was a kid that wasn't really funny, uh that I thought was kind of eye opening at the time. And now that I do this, I'm more aware of it. So yeah, don't don't do that to people.
So let's go to the flip side of that, because yes, that is a downside of being disabled. But a plus of being disabled is you get to jump lines at at theme parks. Okay, I love amusement parks. I was talking to a friend of mine just about this the other day. I love amusement parks, and part of it is I don't have to stand in line because I just roll up there in my wheelchair and they give me a time to come back, and I don't have to sit there and stand in line. So that's a big positive about going to theme parks and being disabled. My one brother says that's the only way that he'll go to amusement parks now, because he's been spoiled about
It's with
going on
you.
all these roller coasters and stuff with me. And maybe it's narcissistic, maybe it's egocentric, where I say, when I get to go to a theme park, it's going to get to be all about me because I get to dictate where we go and how we do it and what time we do anything that we do. So maybe that's a terrible thing about me, but that's why when we would go to theme parks growing up, that were my favorite vacation memories. And on that note, this is not a sponsor, but um, I wanted to throw out that um, there's a place in Texas outside of San Antonio called Morgan's Wonderland, which is a 100% wheelchair accessible water park.
Oh my
So
gosh. You know how fun that would be?
yeah, so it's a really neat place. They have about 30 attractions that are all wheelchair accessible, and it those were things that I never had growing up. Like, I loved theme parks, I loved water parks. I didn't like to swim, but like if you put me on a raft or a tube or a boat, like yeah, I could be in the water all day, no problem. But it was something that I never necessarily had the opportunity to do fully accessibly and independently. So shout out to Morgan's Wonderland down there outside of San Antonio. You guys are doing wonderful work. I doubt that this gets down to them, but if you are listening, uh, thank you for that. And hopefully we can make that more normal and not just the exception to the rule with that.
Exactly.
Speaking of water parks, this is a funny water park story. I had just had a patella tendon advancement done, and I had just started walking again. About, you know, it was about 3 months post-op, about 6 weeks after I got out of a rehab hospital, and we went to a water park in Kansas City that is no longer open. I will not give names, but we were out in Kansas City, and I was walking on my newly constructed knee. All of a sudden, I hear a pop,
Oh,
this big old pop, and all this tension just released from my knee. And my mom goes, "Oh my God, are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I feel great. All that built up tension and stuff on my knee just went away. It's all gone." So we go up and we go to the doctor. Shout out Tom Novacek.
Exactly.
And he does the X-ray, and I can clearly see that this rod that he put in my knee is just exploded into 15 pieces. And I start to cry because I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to have surgery again. Because my left knee is just, now it's in this rod that was supposed to be holding my knee in place is completely gone. Nothing's happening. It's probably going to start stabbing me. But in his deadpan dumb humor, Dr. Novacek goes, "Oh, that's not your knee." I'm like, "Whose knee is that?" He's like, you know, he's like, "It's Joe Schmo's down the way." He's like, "No, I'm not going to lie to you. It's totally your knee, and you're going to have surgery."
Oh boy.
And then he goes, "Yeah, I probably should have done it the other way because I forgot how active you were."
Oh,
So he admitted that he made a mistake. Not that it was a bad thing. I got both of them. I got the left one redone and he did the right one anyway, and now they're fine. It all worked out in the end. But yeah, that's another Dr. Novacek memory that I'm like, yeah, it just exploded into, literally, it looked, I wish I had the x-ray still. It literally looked like I had shrapnel in my knee from an IED or something.
oh boy.
It didn't look comfortable, but I couldn't feel things. But I kept saying, "I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine." He puts me down on the table. He pokes the bottom of my knee where the bar was, and I just screamed. He's like, "Oh yeah, you're not okay." There's no way in heck that you're okay if you're screaming if I just touch your knee.
Yep. No. But uh it wouldn't you wouldn't have known that had you not gone on vacation and heard that pop. So,
Exactly. I probably wouldn't have torn the metal apart if I wouldn't have gone on vacation.
there is a plus to vacations, and um that is um that is why summer is so great, because we can just go places um and we can um enjoy each other's company throughout the summer.
And it makes you feel normal or typical. Like,
Yeah.
because there's some isolation that happens in school you can't necessarily, unless you're in adaptive athletics, you're not necessarily super involved in school unless you put yourself out there. But summer kind of forces yourself to push the limits of your comfort zone. And I have other summer memories about camp. Uh, I went
Oh,
to a
I do.
disabled athletes camp, and it was a overnight camp in the middle of the woods in Missouri. By the way, a blast. And I know Kelly Bellman is listening to this, so thank you to DASA for allowing me this opportunity. But we had so much fun doing that. And she just let us be kids, let us do our own thing, and probably outside of like family vacation, that is my biggest summer memory is getting to spend 2 weeks in the woods with a bunch of other disabled kids trying to figure out what the hell we're actually doing. It was like 16 years old at the time, 15, 16 years old. I I had no idea. I'd gone to sleepaway camps before, but they had been sleepaway camps with my brother, and Like,
Yeah.
this was the first time that I did something completely independently. And
Yep. I went to a um Easter Seals camp one time for a week, and that was kind of the same situation where you you get to be around other disabled people, and you go, oh, this we're all the same here. So it was
yeah,
great, and I have plenty of fond memories of that too. So, um, but I think now is a great time to thank our lovely sponsor.
our lovely sponsor, Giraffe Bottle. And yes, summer is approaching. Those rising temperatures across the country mean that hydration is more important than ever. And what a great way to get hydrated than with a Giraffe Bottle hands-free drinking system. Beat the heat this summer and purchase a Giraffe Bottle Tower Bundle starting at $57 at giraffebottle.com. That is giraffe, like the animal bottle.com. The Tower Bundle includes a 24-ounce giraffe bottle, a stainless steel wheelchair mount, and a 15-inch neck assembly and a straw. The Giraffe Bottle assistive hydration technology is designed to be flexible and easy to use for people of all abilities, with accessories available to mount wherever needed. Giraffe bottles are great for wheelchairs, desks, beds, tables, and more. It is great for hands-free hydration on the go, allowing you to make those summer memories without the stress of a traditional water bottle system. Free shipping on all orders over $100 at giraffebottle.com. That's giraffe bottle like the animal bottle.com. Thank you to Giraffe Bottle for sponsoring this episode, and we can get back into the conversation. And Tanner, yes, those regular hydration systems are very difficult to use. Having to open caps, open things takes too long. But with the Giraffe Bottle, you don't have to worry about that anymore, do you?
Not at all.
Not at all. So thank you again to Giraffe Bottle, and go help them out. And by helping them out, you help us out. So we can get back into this. So what camp did you go to? Was it on the Illinois
Uh,
side?
it was a I can't remember what it was called now, but it was a put on by Easter Seals, and there was probably 20 of us, 20 or 30 of us, and it was just it was a blast uh until it ended, and I was like, I don't want to leave these people, um, because it was just it was so nice to be able to have have friends who I actually don't keep in contact with them anymore. But it was nice to have that same similar situation as the other people. So I enjoyed it.
Exactly.
I enjoyed it.
There are other camps. Um, I'm going to put Sarah on blast here, aren't I? So there's a camp here in town that is run by the J. Hatfield Foundation, which is a big foundation for kids with cerebral palsy, called Camp Independence. It's a day camp, right? Great. You get to do all the day camp stuff.
Yep.
But as I was getting older, I wasn't dumb. I was about 10, 11 years old. And you know, all these camps are being run by therapists. So obviously you're doing that. And one day I came home and I told my mom that CP camp was just PT wrapped up into a camp.
I like that.
And so now it's just a running joke. And I still keep in contact with Sarah and all the therapists that work there. So it's always been a running joke that that's kind of what it is. Um, it's PT wrapped up in a camp. Not saying that that's a bad thing. It's just it shattered my brain when I figured that out.
Yeah,
So
that's kind of funny. Um, so uh, I think that summer camps and summer adventures is always great um for just for getting away from reality for a little bit and enjoying time with people that you don't sometimes don't get to spend time with. So
definitely, especially if you go to a camp that's designed around accessibility. It's no longer about what you can't do. It's more
it,
focused on what you can do. And I really think that's a great thing. And there's great ones all across the country. Uh,
yes,
we've gotten lucky here in Missouri because, DASA does their camp. Camp Barnabas, which is nationally known, which is also in the middle of the Missouri woods. Um, Also a great time. They have 16, it's basically 16 weeks of camp that run from May to August. And what's cool about that is it's not like every disability goes together. It is, you have the blind and visually impaired kids that go, you have the deaf kids that do it, and we each get our own week. And then what's also neat about that as well is our siblings get to come with us and experience that with us. If you have siblings, you can all go together, and it's a great organization. So shout
yeah,
out to Camp Barnabas as well. Um, they're a great group. Um, Heather's Camp down in Oklahoma is a camp uh, focused for the blind and visually impaired community. They do a great job. So they're all over the place. And it's like you said, you really don't have to think about your body or what's wrong with you. You can just be a kid.
yep. Be a kid and camps like that will be adapted for you, so that you don't have to worry. Oh, can I do this? Nope, because all the camps are designed for, for you to be able to do them from whatever need you have. So
And camps like that also are set up to help you become your best advocate. I know we talk about that a lot as we're kind of tying this back into our Chatline motto here, but camps like that, if you go out there, it'll allow you to experience something you've never done, which will allow you to be able to say, this is what I want to do, this is how I need to do it, and this is why.
exactly,
And pushing those things forward is great. Um, and it's teaching independence in a controlled environment, which is the
which is
best way to do it if you don't want to throw somebody into the fire right away. So, do you have
yep.
anything else to add on that?
I do not. Um, so I think if you don't have anything else, uh, we can go ahead and wrap this episode up.
I
Um,
think that's a great place to stop and wrap this up. And that takes it back to you, Tanner. Do you have anything to say?
um, if you want to listen to the previous episodes, um, the all the previous episodes are available on the YouTube and um available on the Spotify and Apple Podcasts as a back catalog. So if you haven't heard the previous episodes, go ahead and listen to them now or whenever you can through whatever platform you have, because we are now available on all of them. So go ahead and listen and Okay, I'm gonna toss it to you now.
All right. So if you're on Spotify, remember to ring that bell to get notified. Leave a 5-star review that helps us with the algorithm. On YouTube, hit the like button. Smash that like button like you're Brandon Davies. You have consent. Leave a comment. Or, ring that bell as well. So when we upload, you can get notified there. To get in contact with us, you can reach us at naacpachair@gmail.com. That's NAACPA chair@gmail.com. We upload weekly. So if you have any questions or comments or anything
Or if
you would
you
like
if
us
you
to talk about,
or if you want to be on the show as a guest, go ahead and email us, and we will get you in the lineup.
perfect. And then lastly, again, giraffebottle.com. That tower bundle starting at $57 gets you the bottle, gets you the wheelchair mount, and also gets you the neck assembly for $57. $100 orders get free shipping within 3 days. So thank you for joining us, wherever you're joining us, however you're joining us. Again, thank you for making us part of your week, and we'll see you in the next episode.
See you, everybody.